Hi! Welcome to the podcast. We don't really have a name quite yet.
But we've gotten classier.
Yes, we have. And whatever the title is of this video, that is what is the official name of this podcast now. But we're shooting this in the past, so
we
have no idea.
Yeah.
We're trying to come up with a clever name.
So,
it's not quite working out so well.
If you hear us yell out something during the podcast,
it's going to be us coming up with a name.
Yes.
Alright,
so let's get started.
So, I think we should probably try to, introduce ourselves.
Yeah.
My name is Matthew Lundeen. That is Jacob McGorvick. And this is Ben Walters.
Okay. Colin couldn't make it.
And
we tried to get him on Skype.
But him and my other friend Sebastian, they were like, we were going to go play Smite. So we're not going to, because we're not doing, we don't want to be social and have fun on a wonderful podcast.
And we don't want to
also, everyone else is at a football game.
Yeah, everyone else is going.
We tried to get Paul.
Sports.
Paul lied to me. He said that he was going to be able to go on. So, Paul, if you're watching this, screw you.
And Tom Olchin. I trust.
Paul?
And by the way, Tom Olchin, I trusted you, man. I trusted you.
Yeah, but in his defense, he was going to ask a girl out this Friday. So.
You rock on, man. You rock on. Go on, man.
All right.
You put it in her.
Well,
all right.
Oh my god.
Get hyper. Get hyper.
Yes.
So, why don't we start off with what we've been playing this week? So, Jacob, what have you been playing this week? Tell us all the things.
I have been playing Borderlands 2, actually. I got all the DLC. I just started a full play on Race to level 72, and Mechamancer, I am level 13.
Man,
in,
awesome.
like, 3 or 4 videos.
Yeah, I always hear about people talking about Borderlands 2, and really the concept is kind of interesting, because I like the idea that I'm going to play a first-person shooter, and I'm just going to constantly be getting loot.
Yeah.
And I like the idea that I'm just going to get a nice little gun.
I also looked up online, and I am technically the first one to start a Race to level 72 with Gage.
Really?
Yes, Yodi Slaya actually did a Race to level 72 with Krieg, but he did not do one for Gage, so that should be fun. Sebastian also told me that she's a fun player, so I don't know. I find her sort of hard to use because she's got a really long cooldown rate, but yeah.
Well, I understood some of those words.
Yeah.
But again, I haven't played the game, so...
Yeah. It's really fun.
One of these days, after I play Mass Effect, and then maybe I'll get into Borderlands, but I'm just kind of behind on a couple of those types of things. Ben, what have you been playing this week?
Farming Simulator, of course.
Like, are you legitimately playing that, or are you just saying that to bullshit it?
No, I am legitimately playing Farming Simulator.
Why, though?
I don't know. I really don't know.
Don't you have any other games to be playing?
Yeah, they all got boring.
What games do you have?
Civilization 5, Empire Total War, a couple DLCs for that too.
I can completely understand why Ben would be getting bored, because even I'm getting kind of bored lately, because I swear to God, I played Splinter Cell Blacklist weeks ago,
fun game.
And I played through all of it, and I'm kind of done with this now.
I
love it, and it's one of the best Splinter Cell games I've ever played.
It's good, but I don't like the multiplayer. I know that Splinter Cell is not really multiplayer based. It's
but it has a good multiplayer following, because apparently people love that stuff.
But I just think that they should have a level cap. They should put people with your level instead of having level 5s being with level 56s. Because I think
and that, and also the fact that I just generally couldn't get into it because I was focused on single player only. Which, by the way, I want to talk about that for a second, because I like it. I like a certain half of it a lot, and I like another half of it not so much. The part that I do like is the fact that every single character, one of the main mission, support crew, Grim, Charlie, Briggs, all those characters, they're brilliant. Even Coben, and I hated him in Conviction. I love him in this game. He's kind of the comic relief. Surprisingly.
one thing I like about that game is in the single player you can like upgrade the pilot like plane and everything in it so
Yeah.
that you get more stuff to it.
Yeah.
Another thing is I like how you can customize your guy in the campaign also instead of just multiplayer.
Although to be honest, though, I like my third loadout is completely useless because it's like I have one for stealth, I have one for assault. I don't need anything else. It's like that's my experimental one where I'm like I'm just gonna have one class where it's like the lowest equipment possible. So everything is like that original Spec Ops suit you got in like the first mission. I just have that.
What about speed?
Like mobility.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's actually another. Wait, is mobility actually one of them?
It is actually like there's I want to say it's spider boots. I'm not sure if that's it.
Spider boots.
Maybe that might be stealth, but there are some boots and a suit and like a whole bunch of gloves and stuff like that that help your mobility and make you like faster.
Which is weird because usually the only three categories I see are your stealth, your armor rating, and then your weapon handling.
Yeah,
But I
no.
haven't seen a mobility.
Yeah, there's a mobility.
I would have assumed that mobility would have been in there, but it just never was. And mobility was never an issue for me. Really, it was a matter of how stealthy can I be, and so like, so I can like run up to a guy, only have him notice me at the last second, but then I just quickly stab him in the face.
Yeah, that's pretty much that whole game.
I
love
it.
being spies. I hate being mercs. I don't really like mercs because you get the surprise. They get the surprise about the element of surprise, and that's just scary.
It's kind of like a horror game when you're playing with the mercs. It's like a bad horror game, but a good everything else game.
I don't play this game, so I'm just gonna stay out of it.
He's gonna nod and act like he's listening.
But the thing that I don't like about the single player, I mean, I like what I do like is that they like there are moments in this game where it's just like they're talking, and it's like one person will be like, "This plan is crazy, it's not gonna work," and then it's like, but it's something crazy like, we're gonna break into Guantanamo Bay, or we're gonna go into Iran and we're gonna break into this embassy and we're probably gonna die in the process. But it doesn't matter. It's like you know how to like the music and the pacing of the conversation is just like every scene is supposed to make you go like, oh my god, this is intense. What I don't like though is that by the end of the game I felt like I don't know. It's like the whole reason that the terrorists did what they did was because it was like America was the terrorists wanted America to send all of its troops home, or every week they would attack America, and it's an interesting concept. And as you go through the game, you hear like when you go into the mission briefing sections, they always have like the audio that's like news. That's like news stories, and like I heard one of them was like countries are like kicking America out of their country. So it's like technically the terrorists are kind of winning on this one, and America is kind of getting its troops taken out of a lot of countries. So by the end point of the game, which by the way there was that one point at the end, which I won't spoil it, but it gets kind of gruesome by the end in certain aspects. By the end, I was just like, wow, this is. I don't know if there's any like success like. Did America really win at all? Like
they win.
I mean, they had a lot of people die.
America.
They ended up sending troops to other. They ended up getting a lot of their troops sent back.
America.
And a lot of countries hate them now. It's like more so than usual.
Yeah.
America.
Well, I mean,
I know.
there's nothing really.
I don't know. I felt like that part of that story maybe needed some work, but everything else about the story was excellent.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. I liked the campaign. The campaign was like really fun on how I like how when you're stealthy you can like switch on lights and like flicker them so that you can bring like people towards you.
I like how you can switch between lethal and non-lethal in the inventory system. Like, and I love a lot of those gadgets. I like that there's actually gadgets in general now. And I won't continue on this because Ben's clearly getting bored, but I'll say one more last thing. I find it both adorable and awesome. Adorable awesome. That you can, like, that when you're on the Paladin, you can, like, call Sam's daughter on the phone, and it'd be like a heartfelt moment between Sam and his daughter. I thought that was kind of interesting. And they'd play.
What are you wearing?
And they'd play them. And they'd play. Oh, that's sick. And they'd play the music from Conviction, which was interesting.
All right, so Matt, what have you been playing?
Well, I haven't been playing Splinter Cell, surprisingly. I tried, and then I was like, ugh. It's like, I don't know, I'm just bored with this. I need to wait for a while until it gets exhilarating again. Other than that, I tried to play AC3 again, because I was like, I'm going to go through and see if I can have fun, because I've already finished all the side missions. And I tested the stealth mechanics. So there was a base, and I was like, I'm going to try to see if I can get through here without getting noticed.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, the thing with certain AC games is that there was always a way for you to get people to divert their attention away from you. It's like, in AC Revelations, you could throw a bomb called, like, a cherry bomb, and it would, like, create this large bang, but it wouldn't kill anyone. It would just create a sound, and people would be, like, move over towards it.
Or
and you could move through areas.
In Far Cry 3, I know at the starting level, you can throw rocks.
And you can do that through the entire game. You kind of forget about it sometimes, but you can throw rocks. It's really cool. So I just feel like Assassin's Creed 3... I'm slowly starting to be more angry at Assassin's Creed 3, and I really hope that AC4 is actually as good as I want it to be, because I played, like, 10 minutes of Brotherhood today. I went back. I think I had more fun playing 10 minutes of Brotherhood than I did playing 2 hours of AC3 trying to test out the stealth mechanics. And that's saying something. Mainly because I hadn't finished my recent playthrough of AC Brotherhood, so I had stuff to do.
Yeah.
But even then, it's like,
yeah.
I had more fun with it, mainly because of nostalgia. But you know, I won't say that much more about that, because really it's just an Assassin's Creed, a bit of Smite, and other stuff.
Schmite.
Yeah, and
Still suck at it.
Alright,
I guess we'll pause it right here. Hold on.
I won't say much.
We paused it. We paused it.
What the?
Cocaine.
Okay.
Anyways, back to the podcast.
I have what we're gonna do next.
Alright.
So
Matt has an article.
So actually, it's not all the article. It's mainly like what the article has to do with.
Did you get it? The website where it's from this time?
Yes, yeah, I got it from IGN.
Alright.
It's written by Mike Meherty.
Thank you, Mike.
And it refers to Metal Gear Solid 5, which is why I chose the trailer. Because it's talking about how, it's referring to a torture scene, which I think you've seen kind of a couple of that. But they mainly were talking about it because GTA 5 has been in the news lately. I mean, as always, every GTA game is in the news. Could you just keep this on your lap so that we can, like, take from it?
Yes, even though I don't like it.
Anyway.
Alright.
I love tennis. So Grand Theft Auto 5 has been in the news lately, as every Grand Theft Auto game is. Because,
obviously it is.
Yeah, because one of the things they mentioned is how... Well, they mentioned a lot of things, like how the characters are kind of like these unlikable characters.
In
that
that
so
game,
complex.
I'm pretty sure in, like, the first mission where it's like you're the two black people, I'm pretty sure they say the N-word above, like, the 50-time mark. Like, they say it more. They say, like, the N-word 2 times in a sentence.
Negro. Correct?
Yes.
Right.
But yeah.
Well, apparently there's a torture scene in Grand Theft Auto 5.
Ooh.
I don't know when, but apparently it's a torture scene. You're playing as one of the characters, Trevor, because apparently his missions are actually... It seems like each character has a certain type of mission, certain types of missions. It seems like Trevor's that character's missions are like just always insane. Like some of them are like apparently some people have said that some of his missions are some of the best in the game, but some of them are also the most darkest. And one of them is a torture mission. I think
it's darkest, not most darkest.
And
Franklin's is pretty good. I like Franklin's, but Michael's is hilarious. I like Michael's the best.
Because isn't Michael's like him dealing with his dysfunctional family and his son who's like who's sort of like the warped version of the gamers.
Yeah. And he tries to be cool around Franklin and tries to be like a gangster.
Maybe like 18.
Yeah, something like that. He's an adult though. I know that.
Yeah, it's weird, but it's kind of like the Breaking Bad of video games. That's what a lot of people were comparing like the characters kind of like Walter White in Breaking Bad.
I don't know. Maybe. I can see
But
it.
the point is, the Grand Theft Auto, the torture scene was like this interactive thing.
Oh,
So it's
that's
like-
wonderful.
So you basically have a variety of objects, and it's like you have to like. The point is, I think you're trying to extract information, and it's like I think the characters like the characters aren't like don't particularly want to do this. I know there's context to it. I imagine the context of it is a different situation, but the point is, I think the people who were making the Rockstar, I think they were trying to make this sort of this like message about American military, American government, and like methods of torture.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what they were trying to go for. They were trying to send a message about that.
Why couldn't you just ask for the information?
Well, because there's the school of thought that if you just tell someone about something, like if you tell someone that the American government sometimes resorts to rather nasty means of torture, sure, you just tell someone. But if you manage to actually build up a story, have people invested in that story, and then deliver in a very like crucial message. Go to a new tab because I have all the trailers there.
Okay, go ahead, keep talking.
If you have, and if you try to send like a message to that person through a story element, such as a character having to torture another character, I feel like you deliver a message much more prominently than you would if the person didn't. Like,
By the way, let's watch the video.
oh God,
GTA torture scene. Now.
well that is yeah,
Click the
watch
link.
that. Philip
Click the
DeFranco.
link.
That's actually Philip DeFranco.
Click the link. It should
Pause.
be like somewhere
Link.
around here.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's all the time we have for tonight. Again, we don't really know the name of this podcast until we get through the bulk of the editing process and come to a consensus on what the name is going to be. I hope you've all enjoyed. My name is Matthew Lundeen, and my co-host disappeared suddenly. There's Jacob, and behind the camera is the lovely Ben Walters.
Like and subscribe.